Welcome back to IGN Live at Gamescom. I'm Brian Altano. I'm with Paul and Jennifer. Let's talk about Skylanders Imaginators. You guys brought toys. First time that's happened all week. We've been streaming for days now. It's the first time we've gotten toys. I'm so excited about this. So tell me about this game.
Oh, okay. So this year in Skylanders Imaginators, the innovation is really unleashing the player's imagination. You know, for years, actually, since 2 weeks after we released the very first Skylanders, we started getting letters from kids all over the world, and they weren't business plans or spreadsheets. They were Skylander designs. You know,
Wow.
They were crazy monster dog beasts, or this glowing orb of electricity with the word electro just sort of scratched across it. And it just, year after year, it became clearer that kids, our fans, some of the adults, want to participate in the creation of the game, and they wanted to make a character that's relevant to themselves. So we spent a long time creating a character development system which was both accessible and fun for kids who wanted to just get in there and start playing right away, but then for nerds like me who want to control the belt buckle color so that the skull is just the right shade of pink.
Yeah.
Every detail is available in there. And it's not only the appearance of the characters, it's their powers, it's their voices, it's their taglines. We've got some of the funniest audio personality generation ever. And in totality, when you add it all up, there are more possible new Skylanders you could create than stars, I think, in the known universe.
What?
Yes, we did the math. And
You really swung for the fences on that one. You're like, what's the biggest number ever? We're getting a bigger number than that.
atoms, quarks. And you know, we've made almost 300 Skylanders now.
Yeah.
And what's kind of fun to think about is in October, a couple of weeks after this game's out, there'll be millions.
That's, okay, hold on. So that's great. As a guy who collects toys and buys them, that's terrifying.
You're going to have to get a lot more IKEA shelving.
No, I'm going to need an IKEA house in an IKEA town that I built from scratch specifically for these things.
Yeah.
So how do you reconcile the fact that the children are going to want every one of these toys? I mean, how are you making them? Is that even possible?
How do we reconcile that or delight?
Or how do you cherish it?
Well, first of all, you know, the game comes in a starter kit.
Yeah.
Comes in a couple of different starter kits, actually. And, you know, you get the two senseis. So you've got these brand new Skylanders. They've been created out of mind magic, this new power in Skylands. And our evil villain, Chaos, he's also got it. So he's making these Doomlanders to fight. And so you make your creations, but they're brand new, like, you know, 10 minutes old. So they need someone to train them. So that's where these awesome new giant Skylanders come. They're the senseis. And they have been pulled from all over Skylands to come to the Academy and train your new Skylanders. So
at age 10 minutes?
yeah, they're really good at it. They're geniuses. They can figure it all out very fast. But with the senseis, every time you add a sensei, not only are they an awesome Skylander with all kinds of fun powers.
There he is.
Yeah. It's so hard not to pick these up and play with them.
We can just do that for the rest of the segment.
Really, I'm ready.
I call Crash Bandicoot.
So, well, actually, that's an excellent segue.
That won't be
I'd
a
like
good
you to-
interview, though, because he doesn't really talk all that
I know,
well.
but we'll make up animal noises. for him. It's
Aku's
fine.
up here.
Yeah,
Side note, have you guys seen photos of real Bandicoots?
yeah.
Don't look those up. They look
Okay.
nothing like
Yeah.
Crash Bandicoot.
Millions of people are now typing away. Bandicoot.
Don't click the X in the corner. Just keep watching this video. Look up real
Back
Bandicoots
on
later.
topic. Back on.
Yeah. So how do you come up with all of these designs? I mean, besides now the fact that you could essentially crowdsource them, right?
Well, what we do is we have some really brilliant artists and creative people and nuts at our office, and we sit around and we very seriously say, so what about a character who's really just a skull with a ponytail and just swings her head around? Like, I don't know. Well, actually, that sounds pretty cool. And then people go off and draw and come back and say, that is astounding.
Yeah.
So we work for a long time to produce. We have 31 senseis this year, all inclusive of our good guy senseis, our villain senseis, Crash, Neo, and of course, Chaos. Chaos is a sensei this year, and he is actually probably the single most powerful character we've ever implemented. The Imaginators that you create have an element, which is defined by the creation crystal you use, fire, for example, and then a battle class, their character class, which defines their weaponry. Chaos is all classes, and he is so awesome that we're giving him away as a pre-order bonus.
Really?
Really.
That's all. He looks like a very angry baby.
Yeah, that's
That's
exactly.
pretty much what he is.
I kind of love that. And you kind of like really stepped up the production value on some of the non-character stuff. Like these, what are these things called again?
They're creation crystals, which are containing pure Imaginite.
Is that safe for kids?
Oh, absolutely. They're contained within this crystal. Otherwise, who knows what would happen? And also, when you put them on the portal of power, they begin to beat as though a heart were beating inside, indicating that they're alive. And it's through magical broadcast power. There are no batteries inside.
What?
Yes.
You're gonna have to explain that to me. Maybe
Afterwards.
not now. Maybe later.
Yes, it's going to take some drawing and some waving of hands.
You're harnessing some sort of wizardry you're not telling us about.
Yes, and again, we have people at the office whose job is harnessing wizardry. It's
Real
on their card.
sorcerers.
Yes.
And
Yes.
sorcerettes. This is all. I think we just made up a word there. This is all really cool, but I got to focus on the Crash Bandicoot stuff for a second because I don't think I've heard so many 30-somethings cheer in unison as when this was first announced.
Oh, well, absolutely. This year is the 20th anniversary of Crash Bandicoot. We thought it was the perfect time to bring him back, and this is the greatest venue for it because so many of us who played Crash Bandicoot back in the day, we were youngsters ourselves, and now we have our own children, and we want to share our love for Crash and Neo and this kind of gameplay with the next generation.
Yeah.
And it's really wonderful. That's kind of what Skylanders is about here. It's about stop. It's about bringing your family together and playing together. So I could be playing Crash Bandicoot, and my daughter could be playing her own creation right next to each other. We're playing co-op, and that's the soul of the game. So I'm
it's like a
very
very-
excited about that.
It's a very cool way of introducing the younger generation into the stuff you're into without sort of being like, hey, listen to mom's albums over here.
Right.
Like, check out this book I used to love.
Yeah, and we, not to be corny, but we really do believe in bringing the family together
Yeah.
to play games. We have this great development, which is that parents actually play games now.
Yeah.
And so if there's anything we can do to bring them together, to make games that parents enjoy playing. So Skylanders at its core is a fantasy adventure game. And it's just made accessible for kids. So we try to bridge that age range and let everybody play together, and of course then chaos.
So I don't think that's corny at all. I think it's actually kind of solving two issues we have right now. And one is that people are playing games, but they're kind of playing them by themselves, hunched over like an iPad or something like that. And because of that, they're not really playing with toys as much. I mean, I know like I'm an 80s baby. I had G.I. Joe's, Transformers. Then I grew up and got X-Men, Star Wars toys, everything I could get my hands on. And video games were really about sitting around a TV and playing games together with friends and collecting the toys that went around with them. And you guys have all kind of brought it all together. It's like very delightful to see that actually happening. Like, so just personally, thank you for keeping that kind of action figure toy renaissance going forever.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Yeah, we want to keep doing it forever
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Major Matt Mason, I'm going to sing a shout out for him. That was my toy.
So how did you design the Crash Bandicoot in this game? Because it seems like he's part original Crash, but also he fits perfectly well with the rest of these toys. I mean, if you were someone that didn't know who he was, you would see all these guys together and be like, this is a pretty interesting family, but they sort of fit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he in this game is still a Skylander, essentially. He has a full set of moves. He's a sensei like the other senseis. Senseis have a really powerful attack called the Sky Chi move. For Crash Bandicoot, his Sky Chi move is this amazing yo-yo toss that he uses to pull in all of his enemies so he can dispatch them pretty fast. But he's a really great character who works in the Skylands. But Wumpa Islands, which is its own level, definitely pays homage to the original Crash Bandicoot.
Yep.
You've got Wumpa fruit that you collect, lots of platforming for those who are familiar with the original game. Plenty of crates to jump on. What you're about to see here is one of my favorite parts of the level. It's called the Chili Pepper Run. And it definitely pays homage to the parts of the original Crash game where you were being chased by a giant
Yep.
boulder. So hopefully we can see some of that. But
Which a bunch of us got to experience again in Uncharted 4, which was really cool.
Yeah,
Just little
yeah.
Crash Bandicoot levels. in there. And it's like it's funny because you're like, we've got a lot of the nostalgic things like fruits and crates, and you're like, well, on their own, those are pretty boring things. But when you put them in the world of Crash, you're like, oh man, I miss those things.
well, it's all about the challenge. Back at the office, everyone keeps playing this part of the level over and over and over again just to see if we can beat each other.
Yep.
So it's a different kind of gameplay, and it even so still fits very nicely in the Skylanders world. So
Which I really love because from like the outside looking in, you'd be like, oh, there's a new Crash Bandicoot game. And it's like, well, there's also a new Skylanders game. So how are you able to sort of balance those two things without going, is this too much Crash? Is this too little Skylanders or vice versa?
Skylanders is this huge world. I mean, if you've seen the levels, it ranges from a deep, dark dungeon to crazy sheep-filled skies. And I think, given
Crazy sheep-filled sky.
well, maybe that's not crazy. 'Cause
No,
it's
I love
Skylanders.
it.
all right.
But the bottom line is, when you look at Thumpin' Wumpa Islands, one, it looks very authentic, and I credit Vicarious Visions entirely for that. But also, it just fits within the colorful, living, breathing, magical world of Skylands.
We all
Yeah.
got dressed very nice today to talk about Thumpin' Lumpin' Islands.
Thumpin' Wumpa
I
Islands,
say
perfect.
that 10 times fast.
Thank you guys so much for coming. This was great. When can people play this?
It'll be out in October, October 16th in Europe, and October 14th in Europe, and October 16th in the United States.
And I assume you'll have a bunch of different packages or ways to pick up this game, ways to get the toys.
There's the Normer starter kit. There's a Dark Edition starter kit, and then most importantly,
Yeah. We'll have a Crash Bandicoot starter kit that is for PS4 and PS3.
Oh man.
Yeah.
and
Yes,
it'll
hear
come
that?
with Crash and Neo and the other senseis.
Can we show off that
Yes.
Neo real quick? Because he's that Dr.
Yeah,
Neo Cortex
I'll-
is so
His
cool.
Sky Chi move is to
He's
die for.
pretty awesome.
Giant laser beam from the
Giant
sky.
laser beam.
Look at
from the
that guy.
sky. Look at this.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
What a
that's
great
Skylanders
toy.
Imaginators. You can play it very, very soon. Thank you guys so much for coming today, and more importantly, thank you for bringing toys.
It was our pleasure. We're taking them when we leave.
Yes.
What?
Thank you. Sorry.
That's not part of the deal. I'm Brian. This is IGN at Gamescom. We're going to be looking at plenty more games, maybe some more toys. Maybe I'll get to keep them. We'll see. Stay tuned right here on IGN.